The CDC gives its recommendation for who should get the COVID-19 vaccine first, how soon a vaccine could arrive in California, and what happens next.
Plus, the action an Escondido man is taking to care for homeless youth during the pandemic.
And because of the pandemic, Feeding San Diego faces a greater challenge in providing meals to San Diegans. How the organization is meeting the moment and what you can do to lend a hand.
ABC 10 News at 6 starts now.
We still don't know when a COVID-19 vaccine will be ready, but by this time tomorrow, we could know the county's plan for distributing one. It can't come soon enough. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. Today, the county announced 1,000 San Diegans have now died from the virus. And tonight, our region and much of the country is preparing for an overflow of hospitalizations. Our ABC 10 News reporter Rachel Bianco has a look at what happens next and what's expected to be a complex vaccination distribution plan.
Let me just jump right in.
California's governor announced Monday that roughly 327,000 COVID-19 vaccines could arrive from Pfizer by mid-December. Who will be first in line to get the shot is still unclear. Dr. Mark Sawyer is a pediatric infectious disease specialist at Rady Children's Hospital and UCSD. He's part of an FDA committee that will review the vaccines.
I think it is reasonable to think that by mid-December, those first shipments are going to be at local health departments and starting to be distributed.
Tuesday, a CDC advisory board voted on a proposal that would give priority to healthcare workers and patients in nursing homes, but the final decision is up to each state.
And then it's up to the state and county health departments to work out the finer details of how vaccine is going to be distributed and where it's going to go.
Included in those details, how to store the vaccine at roughly minus 70 degrees Celsius. That's about 50 degrees colder than any other vaccine.
Not every healthcare provider is going to be able to get some in their office because they're not going to be able to have the capacity to store it the way it needs to be stored.
One place that does have the capacity, Rady Children's Hospital. The state asked the hospital to be one of several storing locations until the FDA approves the vaccine for emergency authorization use. A spokesman says the hospital has the necessary ultra-low temperature freezer storage capacity and controls in place. It's not known yet how much of the vaccine will be stored, when it will arrive, or who will get it first. Rachel Bianco, ABC 10 News.
Well, after holding at 6% over the weekend, San Diego's 2-week rolling average for positive COVID cases is climbing once again, now just shy of 6.5%. There were more than 1,300 new cases reported today. That brings our total to more than 83,000. In a heartbreaking update, the county reported 22 new deaths today, likely a lag from over the weekend. There have now been more than 1,000 San Diegans who have died from this virus.
And hospital ICUs in Southern California are projected to be over capacity in the next few weeks. A local nurse practitioner spoke with ABC 10 News today about her concerns at San Diego hospitals. And while she's worried about staffing, she's also worried about the mental and physical health of her colleagues.
The staffing issues have always been something that we've dealt with in the ICU because of the critical acuteness of our patients and the burnout of staff. Nurses are picking up a lot more overtime, and shifts are being asked to work a lot more than they have in the past.
The state is also ready to deploy about 900 volunteers in healthcare experience to help. As COVID cases continue to surge in the U.S., the Centers for Disease Control is warning Americans about traveling to another country struggling to get that virus under control. Mexico recently became the 4th country to surpass 100,000 COVID-related deaths. The CDC says going there could increase someone's chances of getting the virus and has issued its highest advisory for the country. Just yesterday, we told you about a San Diego couple who developed severe cases when they contracted COVID on a trip to Oaxaca.
UC San Diego is taking its Return to Learn program to the next level. Right now, the university is only testing for COVID in wastewater from certain buildings, but that will soon expand to cover the entire campus. Students and faculty will also get tested for COVID more frequently, every week instead of every 2 weeks. Students are also able to test themselves. The university also says that the contact tracing app it's been testing on campus will soon be available statewide. And you can track along with the latest coronavirus developments, from vaccines to travel advisories, with the ABC 10 News app. You can find it for free right now in the App Store.
Nearly 90,000 SDG&E customers could lose their power as a red flag warning takes effect tomorrow. The utility warned that public safety shutoffs could start as early as tomorrow night. They could last throughout the weekend. Meteorologist Angelica Campos is joining us now with a look at the red flag warning, and it will be in effect until Saturday. Angelica?
Hi, Kim. And of course, losing power in the middle of the night when it's going to be cold could be a concern for a lot of people in itself. We're going to see some 30s into our mountains, 40s inland in the areas highlighted under this red flag warning, which begins at 6 p.m. tomorrow night. The winds will get stronger overnight into Thursday and Friday, and a high wind watch has been issued as a result of the strong winds. We could potentially see wind gusts between 60 to 80 miles per hour, but already the winds are offshore, so it's already dry across the county, which keeps that critical fire danger in place through the end of the week. But the combination of dry brush, increasingly windy conditions can create even higher threat as far as critical fire danger is concerned. I'll show you what it looks like for Thursday as the winds get stronger all across the county in your 7-day forecast.
Angelica, thank you. The captain of that scuba diving boat that caught fire and sank off the coast of Santa Barbara last year has been charged with manslaughter. 33 passengers and 1 crew member were killed while asleep below deck. A San Diego woman was among the victims. The 5 crew members who survived were asleep on the upper deck. Back in October, the NTSB determined that the boat did not have crew keeping watch at night or any smoke detectors. The agency did not find an exact cause for the fire.
And the county is now accepting applications for its emergency rental assistance program. Applicants can receive grants for up to $3,000 to cover a maximum of 2 months' rent. The applications will be reviewed on a first-come, first-served basis. You can head to 10news.com and check on your eligibility for the program. Relief is on the way for small businesses across California. The state is now accepting applications for the Small Business Hiring Tax Credit. Eligible small businesses can get $1,000 in credit for each new hire they made during the second half of 2020, up to $100,000 total.
We know the pandemic has hit all of us hard, but this month ABC 10 News wants to highlight the good in all of us and what we're thankful for this year.
For all the fans and locals who are coming out to support a local family-owned independent craft brewery and helping us to continue to do what we do best.
I'm hopeful for all this COVID to go away, for everybody to be healthy again.
I give thanks for all the support from my neighborhood and from my family. So that's my hope for the future.
All good things. And during this pandemic, an Escondido man has devoted his time to helping San Diego County's homeless youth.
You know, we're living through something that I never even imagined, and the need is just so real.
Mimi Alcala spoke with him about the countless hours he spent making sure those in need get back on the right track.
When these young people need help, they need help right now.
We first met Mike Shaw in August when he was in the process of helping a young man named Caleb, who found himself homeless on the streets of San Diego.
He reached out to people in our community online, on social media, asking for help. He got his car stolen from him, and he needed a place to stay, and he didn't have anywhere to go.
Shaw's organization, SoCal Youth Emergency Services, quickly responded, and soon after, Caleb had a roof over his head, a new car, and a job. He's now back in his home state with his family.
Caleb's doing great. He's working full time. He has his vehicle still. He's back with his family. He's happy. We've helped quite a few people. The amount of people since that story aired was tremendous. It was a lot.
During this pandemic, Shaw and his team have been able to help more homeless youth across our county. From driving around in this outreach van, handing out hot meals and hygiene kits, to providing a safe place to sleep for young mothers and their children.
We had a young mother in Chula Vista with a 1-year-old baby that was actually sleeping outside we were able to help her. And
While Shaw started SoCal Yes in 2019, connecting those in need with all of the services already out there, helping others is really nothing new for him.
10, 11 years old, I was volunteering at Palomar Continuing Care Center, Palomar Hospital Emergency Room. I was there for 2 or 3 years. San Pasqual Volunteer Fire Department, Rady Children's Hospital, Ronald McDonald House. So it's something I've done for a long time and I really enjoy doing.
During a time where things are difficult for so many, Shaw takes comfort in knowing when people are down, others will always be there to pick them right back up.
It's not just me. There's a lot of people in the background that are making things happen. We've noticed an uptick on people who really want to help.
Mimi Alcala, ABC 10 News.
SoCal Yes is also holding a Holiday Heroes toy drive where more than 100 less fortunate children will receive presents from their Christmas wish lists for a sponsor. If you would like to sponsor a child as well, we have their information on our website at 10news.com. And if you have a story that is positively San Diego for our Season of Hope, send us an email to tips@10news.com.